Did you used to dance on that pier?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, lived it in dancing in Worthing or Brighton.
Good morning. I think I look a bit like a waitress. Well, I spend a lot of my life waitressing, so yeah, I'm used to wearing the little black number with the white collar. This week I go to one of the most famous London nightclubs ever. If you listen to my show, you'll know that I was invited to Annabelle's on their anniversary. I've been now invited to Tramp on their anniversary. When I was a young actress, I would have done anything to get into these places. Now I'm too old really to enjoy it, and I'm being asked to have a look inside the hallowed grounds of these very exciting London nightclubs. They're the old established nightclubs, you know, where you didn't queue up to be checked over and allowed in by a doorman. It was all who you knew, and there was very little branding outside. So I'm going to kick off this week's vlog with me going to Tramp on Jermyn Street after what? 50 years of wanting to go there. I'm at Tramp in Jermyn Street in Mayfair, and they are celebrating an anniversary. I think it's 50 years, and I have never been in Tramp. I've been in Annabelle's, obviously, for the sake of my radio show. I've never been in Tramp, and I'm going to go in now just to talk about the history of it and to experience one of the most famous nightclubs in Mayfair. So, I'm wearing jeans actually. I don't know if there's a dress code. We shall find out. I'm going to take these off. Gosh, it's very exclusive. Hi, Joe Good, BBC Radio London.
Okay, great. Could you just wait in reception?
Thank you. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is stunning. This has taken me 40 years to get into this nightclub. When I was in Crossroads, I said the dreaded word, my very, very good friend Sneh Gupta used to always call me going, "Joe, I'm in Tramp, come and meet me." And I went, I don't have the clothes, I can't, I'm not glamorous enough to be. So I am very excited to say I've been invited in here today. It is the 50th anniversary of Tramp. Look at this, let's get tramped. I think that should be, if I have a tattoo, that should be it. But I need to show you one of the best works of art I have ever seen. Just have a look at this. Follow me, Capri. Capri's is filming. Mm-hmm. This is, Ronnie Wood actually created this work of art. And you will seldom ever see the Stones and the Beatles in one picture. Ronnie's signature there. And all of you know that Joe Wood, Ronnie's ex, is a mate of mine. I wear her perfume, she comes on my show, and she's a member of Tramp, so maybe I'll come in with Joe one night, on a Friday, because that's apparently the best night. Just let me take you downstairs to the dance floor. This is Meredith, who's running away. And look at this dance floor. So,
And this is where Drake sits.
Oh, Drake sits, but Mandy Smith, and you all know that I live in a block of flats in Marylebone. Mandy Smith had the flat below me, so she would have come in here, probably with Keela, probably with Christine Keela, who knows, but they would certainly have danced on the dance floor. And that is where I will finish 50 years at Tramp. Hurrah! Good morning. Look at this beautiful day. I'm in Bloomsbury. Let me tell you what I'm wearing first of all. I am wearing an Agnes B skirt, my little French coat, a Margaret Howell sleeveless sweater, and my Celine sunglasses. Spring is here, no tights, and just white trainers. I am in Bloomsbury, and I am on the way to the Charles Dickens Museum because the lost portrait of Charles Dickens is now here in the museum for 1 week. You can come and view it, and I've got an interview in there with the curator of the Charles Dickens. That's Doughty Street. This street is where my dad used to work, which is John Street. I'll show you. So that is John Street, and I used to meet him at the top of that road, and we would go to My Old Dutch, a restaurant on Theobald's Road, and eat pancakes. So I love coming here because it reminds me of my dad, and I really love coming here on a day like this. And I may be able to film the portrait of Charles Dickens for you to have a little snoop at. It's a lovely museum, by the way. You can get coffee there and cake and soup and everything else. I'm meant to be at the Charles Dickens Museum, but just look how beautiful this is. Wouldn't I do anything to live here? This is a muse, one of the most beautiful muses. Look at this. There's one of them open. We can have a look inside. I would do, and I'd leave Marylebone to live here. I'm here to do an interview with the Charles Dickens Museum.
You should interview us.
I should interview. Tell me, are you architects?
Yeah.
I knew architects always work in beautiful places.
Yeah.
And what sort of? Sorry, everybody. I have stumbled upon these two amazing people who are in the best muse. Did you know what muse
Dirty
means?
Muse. Yeah, we know. Yeah,
vaguely.
Like this used to be the place where the servants were living and the horses were. The stables.
It would have been stables. It would have been. But
you can see here how it's really clear how they were stables. I think.
Oh yes, you can. Yes, you're quite right. Yeah. So this is your office, and just tell me.
Spectacular Architects, just to give
Can
a
I
bit
just
of
stick my
credit.
Here we are. This is my YouTube channel. Look at this. So this is if you need an architect. How lovely were they? So nice. They're artists as well as architects. I think when it's sunny, people just like to chat. Anyway, I'm late now for the Dickens Museum, which is, I was going to go and have a cup of coffee, but I'll have a cup of coffee later. It is gorgeous around here. And look, someone's lucky enough to live in flats there. That's what I love about London is there are all these hidden areas. Look at the roof garden up there. So when you've got, limited amount of space and you're compromised, people are really creative about living areas, I suppose. We all live on top of each other just so we can stay in this glorious city. Anyway, I'm gonna, follow me to the Dickens Museum. I've come here quite a lot because I do quite a lot of Christmas specials in the Dickens Museum for the radio. Lovely dogs. These dogs. Lots of nice dogs. And can you imagine when all these trees are out in blossom? Just gorgeous. If I'm lucky, they might give me a cup of coffee at the museum because they really do good food. So if you come into London, if you're a Londoner, you'll know it. If you don't live in London and you want to go to the Dickens Museum, it's where Dickens lived. It's where he wrote, I think he wrote A Christmas Carol here. It's where most of his children were born. They've kept it very much as it was, so it's wonderful. So this is it.
So
Art.
come and have a look at this. It's most extraordinary. So this is Dickens as a young man. He's 31 years old. And no one will recognise him because if you think of Dickens, you conjure up a picture in your mind of the older man with the beard and the scraggly hair. And this is a young, dynamic, effervescent character with beautiful long hair, sort of wavy hair, dark auburn with a few flecks of light in it, and extraordinary eyes, this mixture of blue and brown, that sort of hazel that no one could quite describe other than saying he had the most intense, piercing, bewitching gaze. And another friend at the time said you wouldn't have been surprised had he been a little bit vain of his hair.
He was, to be really crass, quite a Darcy. And we're not going to say anymore. You've got to come and see this for yourself. It's only here for the week, but hopefully, it will come back. This will be its resting place, but it needs your help. So I'm going to leave the links below on how you can donate, but you must be quick. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, what a privilege that was. Amazing. So yes, they need to raise the money to keep that portrait there in that museum. I am now going to do my lovely walk back to the BBC, and I'm going to have a lovely bit of coffee, and actually I'll go down this way. Cup of coffee and a piece of cake. I think I've earned it. How much do I love the spring? How much do I love London? Yes! Beautiful. So I'm going to have a lovely cup of coffee here in Russell Square. In London, the first sign of sun, everybody is out. Just look, people sitting on the lawns. People sitting out. I'm going to go in here, and because it's Friday and because my interview went well at the Dickens Museum, I always reward myself after I've done, I don't know, a good job at something. So I'm going to come here and have a cup of coffee. I actually wondered what these were, but they're to keep the pigeons away. They're fake owls. Have a look, they go all the way down. And it actually works, because pigeons are a real problem here in London, as around CAFs. There's no pigeons. It's all down to the fake owl. Just realised it's hawk, isn't it? I'm here with my mum at Worthing. Could you believe it's still, well, it's just the end of March and I still got my dad's sunglasses on. We've just come down really to get some air. Did you used to dance on that pier?
No.
Oh, I thought you did.
No, lived in dancing in Worthing or Brighton.
Oh, I thought you danced on a pier though, didn't you?
I remember doing so.
Oh, I don't know why I thought of that.
No, I don't know.
They used to have theatres on the end though, didn't they?
Oh yeah, we used to come to the pantomime at the Brighton, that was. The, I forgot what it was called, Palace Pier. It was
Yeah,
called.
yeah, it's a Brighton
I think
pier.
they've reverted it back to it's called Palace Pier again, I think.
Oh, is it?
I'm not sure, I think that's.
It's lovely though. You were born in Worthing.
Yes, this is my birthplace.
Yeah, Worthing has a lot of significance. So my mother was born there. I met my ex-husband here, and I started practicing yoga here actually, really. That yoga studio, which is a little fisherman's hut at the back. But I absolutely love it when the tide is out. Look at this.
That's probably what you thought about when you thought I'd dance.
What?
Doing yoga down here.
I'm not sure if it's a sign of age, but do you know, I actually, on a day like this, I prefer Worthing to Brighton, and Worthing used to just be a place full of old people. Maybe it's because I'm halfway there, but just look at it. When it's like this, I love this country. When it's winter, I just want to leave. But it's lovely. So we have a bit of a dilemma. If you were watching that shot on the beach, you may have seen a sort of smudge that's going into every single frame, and it's because I've got dirt in the lens. So this is the vlogger's dilemma. What am I going to do? Well, I brought it here, hopefully in Soho. This place can clean it. If not, I'll be doing this on my phone. Let's hope I'm not doing it on my phone. I've only just learned how to use this camera. So they can fix it, but it means, whoops, there we are, we're going out of focus, there we go. It means that I'm going to be without this for 2 days, so maybe you're going to end up with stuff shot on my phone, which isn't very good, or I could actually invest in a second-hand one. Trouble is, I don't actually know how to use any of this stuff, I only know how to use that one, but these look really good.
Is it?
I'm just so relieved, I'm so relieved you can do this. Because I just thought, somebody said on YouTube you can't get into them once they're, this lovely lady's helping me out. Once you get into the camera you can't get into them, but no doubt they know what they're doing, don't they?
Yeah.
I love this book, look at this.
Yeah, quite a few customers have wanted to buy it, but the technician's like, no.
So what is this, the earliest?
I guess one of them, I don't know.
One of the very earliest bloggers. How amazing. Obviously, this camera has now been cleaned. £175 later. Vlogging is proving to be very expensive, but I love it. I really love it. And so that's my opportunity to thank all of you for staying with me on what they call this vlogging journey. It is the best bit of my week. In my head all the time is what will I film, what will I leave out. And today's an example actually. I'm not working today, I'm not doing the radio show today, and that's very odd to be in the middle of the week, not to be going into the studio. And unfortunately I'm not working today because I'm going to the funeral of a dear elderly friend of mine who I only met through my radio show, the wonderful Eileen of West Dulwich, and the sun's just come out. How wonderful. She's the epitome of what local radio is all about. And unless you actually listen to that radio station, you won't know what I mean. But I'm going to be at her funeral. I'm just parked up. I'm going to go now. In East Dulwich it is, which is my old stomping ground. It seems I'm always saying, oh, it's my old stomping ground, but I have lived all over London. But it's weird just having today to think about things, because usually I'm just rushing here, there and everywhere. And it's nice to just think about Eileen. In fact, I think I will dedicate this vlog to Eileen of West Dulwich. Because she was never, ever anything but positive and optimistic and ageless. And I wanted to wear the stiletto she gave me, actually, but it's a bit chilly. So can I just thank all of you who've stayed with me and for spreading the news, because I am growing an audience, and for my age, that is quite unique on this platform. So thank you. And here are this week's walking viewers. Have a great week. Bye.
I'm walking, here's the need, I'm talking.